literally just had a spiritual awakening between the drive-through speaker box and the second window, and I need everyone to stop what they are doing immediately.
I can literally see your hands shaking right now.
Yeah.
You walked into the studio vibrating at a frequency I didn't even know was humanly possible.
I'm gasping for air.
You are clutching that plastic cup like it contains the actual elixir of eternal life.
Of course, it does. Welcome back, babes. The tea is hot, and babes, we are so glad to have you here with us today.
So that.
And babes, whenever you hear this, we just hope you have an amazing day, because my day has officially peaked.
It's all downhill from here.
It really is. And salted caramel fraps are officially back at McDonald's.
Oh boy.
And I am declaring right now, that McDonald's is doing the Lord's work with these drinks. It is a sheer cultural reset, babes.
A cultural reset, right?
I took exactly one sip and my entire emotional baseline just shifted. I am deeply, profoundly emotionally attached to this beverage.
It is entirely alarming how easily your brain chemistry is hijacked by a drive-through menu addition.
I can't help it.
I am sitting here, looking at that cup, and I am highly judgmental of the sheer volume of high-fructose corn syrup currently surging through your veins.
Don't ruin this for me.
As a health-conscious, analytical human being, I am disgusted.
Yoder.
However, I will admit, as someone who is also fully, hopelessly addicted to the exact same artificial flavoring, I have already mentally planned tomorrow's commute specifically to secure my own order.
I knew it. You pretend to be so far above it, but you are down in the caramel trenches with the rest of us.
It's true. I have a weakness.
But babes, why do fast food iced drinks hit so completely differently in the summer? Like, it is not just a beverage, it is an emotional support accessory?
It's a prop.
Yes. When I am carrying this clear plastic cup and the condensation is like dripping down the sides, I feel like my life is totally together. It gives me purpose.
We really need to analyze the psychology of the fast food beverage drop. Because what you are experiencing is a hyper-efficient, highly engineered dopamine delivery system.
I love dopamine.
It is a liquid dessert masquerading as coffee. They take a baseline stimulant, like caffeine, and they just aggressively mask it with dairy fat and liquid sugar.
The best combination.
Which instantly triggers the reward centers in your brain. But honestly, it's more than just the chemical composition. It is the tactical comfort of the ritual.
Wait, say more about that.
Well, the physical act of holding a cold cup on a warm day provides this sensory anchor. In a chaotic, completely unpredictable world, the reliability of a summer promotional menu drop offers a fleeting yet very powerful sense of control.
Oh my gosh, yes.
You are literally purchasing a predictable moment of joy for $4.
A predictable moment of joy. That is exactly it. It is the ultimate coping mechanism.
It really is.
Speaking of, wait, no, we are not pivoting mechanically. We are flowing. We are flowing right into the exact energy that I am carrying today because of this drink.
Let's flow.
Because, Biggs, we both just finished work at your dental offices doing our side project, and we were wearing our new Snark side branded scrubs.
Which are aggressively comfortable, by the way.
So comfortable, but something magical happened out there in the real world today.
It was a fascinating sociological experiment in human interaction, honestly.
It was.
We were in the waiting room, just minding our own business, and there was one particular patient who simply decided that her entire mission for the day was to relentlessly compliment us.
She was an angel on earth.
Every single time we walked past her chair, it was a brand new validation. Our shoes, our scrubs, our general aura. She was relentless.
And can we please take a moment to appreciate people who just go out of their way to hype up strangers?
Highly evolved behavior.
It is top-tier human behavior. Girls hyping up girls in a random dental office waiting room is the exact energy we need to carry into the rest of the summer.
I agree.
So to the Snark Squad, everyone listening right now, your outfit is amazing, your vibe is immaculate, and your summer confidence is absolutely radiating off you. We are hyping you up today, babes.
There is an actual measurable neurological shift that occurs when you participate in that kind of unsolicited positivity.
Oh, really? Science time.
Yes, science time. When you receive a compliment, your brain releases a cocktail of oxytocin and dopamine. It reinforces social bonding.
I love that.
But the truly fascinating part is the concept of unearned confidence. When you actively project confidence, even if it starts as a total facade, your brain chemistry literally begins to align with your physical posture.
Wait, So fake it till you make it is real biology?
Exactly. You start to embody the compliment. It lowers cortisol. It alters your reality.
It is the ultimate fake rich people energy. Like earlier when I told you that you were entering your ultimate celebrity era.
Yeah, please.
No, you rolled your eyes, you acted all shady and inconvenienced, but I know for an absolute fact that you secretly lived for it. You were eating it up.
Okay, I am naturally averse to the spotlight, but I will concede that the narrative of being an unbothered, wealthy recluse is highly appealing to my sensibilities.
Okay.
I will accept the celebrity era designation. Much like how I pointed out earlier that your sweater today is a flawless, absolutely terrifying luxury designer dupe.
Oh my God, thank you.
It looks incredibly expensive, but I know for a fact you are on a deeply sensible budget. You look like you summer in the Hamptons, but shop on a discount app.
And I fully shamelessly accept that compliment immediately.
As you should.
I will take expensive on a budget any day of the week. I want to look like I own a yacht, but actually have a panic attack when the grocery bill is over $100.
The duality of man.
Exactly. And babes, that delusional fake luxury energy is exactly what we need this afternoon because we are leaving the studio a little early today.
We are on a tight schedule.
Our realtor just texted. They have another apartment to show us.
Ah, yes. The great housing spiral continues. The relentless, crushing delusion of the modern rental market.
I am already exhausted, honestly. The sheer audacity of these property management companies is criminal.
Criminal is the correct word.
We are seeing so many of these fake luxury apartments. You know exactly what I'm talking about, babes.
Everyone knows.
They buy a rundown building, they slap down some aggressively gray vinyl plank flooring, they paint the walls landlord special white right over the literal light switches.
The painted-over outlets are a classic touch.
Yes, and suddenly they call a 500-square-foot shoebox a modern penthouse.
It is architectural gaslighting, is what it is.
Oh, I'm stealing that phrase.
They install a shallow farmhouse sink, they replace the cabinet handles with matte black hardware, and they present a closet that is actively masquerading as a modern kitchen.
A closet.
Then they attach a premium, soul-crushing price tag. It is a masterclass in marketing over substance. They are selling an aesthetic veneer that literally peels the second the humidity hits it.
It is entirely criminal, and don't even get me started on the fake amenities.
Oh, the amenities fee.
But, babes, having said all of that, this one today, it honestly might be the one. I can feel it in my bones.
Here we go.
I have already mentally arranged the furniture. I know exactly where the velvet sofa is going. I know where the floor mirror belongs. I am emotionally moved in.
And here is where I have to provide the cynical, analytical counterweight to your unhinged optimism.
Ruin it for me.
Because while you are placing imaginary throw pillows, I am already suspicious.
I know you are.
I am highly vigilant regarding the inevitable hidden trash valet fees that they force upon you. I am already anticipating terrible water pressure.
The water pressure is key, though.
That luxury amenity fee they charge probably just covers a single permanently broken elliptical machine in an unventilated basement.
You are such a buzzkill, but you are a necessary buzzkill because I will sign a 12-month lease just because the lobby smells like Santal.
Someone have to protect our finances.
True. But this entire concept, the fake luxury, the criminal rent, the desperate desire to appear wealthy while hiding the reality, that transitions us perfectly into the actual delusion happening in the upper echelons of society right now.
The transition is seamless.
The tea is boiling over. Babes, let's talk about the absolute scam of royal real estate.
I imagine the British monarchy's housing concerns are slightly more elevated than our gray vinyl flooring and trash valet issues.
There's a little bit.
Though with that family, we must always append the word allegedly to every single statement, as their legal team is famously aggressively litigious.
Oh, absolutely. Allegedly, supposedly, in a video game, all of it.
Proceed with caution.
So Prince William and Kate Middleton have allegedly just signed a lease for a new home. They are moving into Forest Lodge, which is located deep within Windsor Great Park.
Okay.
And babes, the rent on this place, a casual $411,435 annually on a 20-year lease.
Let us just pause to calculate the sheer magnitude of that financial commitment.
It's
over $8 million in rent.
Okay.
And this isn't just a standard residence, obviously. This is an 8-bedroom Georgian mansion constructed in the 1770s.
8 bedrooms.
The Crown Estate acquired it in 1829. It is essentially a museum with indoor plumbing.
Right. But here is the PR spin that literally has me spiraling. The internal leak suggests that William and Kate are making this move specifically because they want a quote-unquote normal upbringing for Prince George, Princess Charlotte and Prince Louis.
Normal.
Yes, normal. And to ensure this normalcy, they have decided they will have absolutely no live-in staff in the main house.
How brave of them.
Even though the property literally comes with 2 separate cottages built exclusively for staff.
The royal definition of normal is a breathtaking paradox.
It is.
They are attempting to apply a middle-class vernacular to a deeply aristocratic reality. It is cognitive dissonance on a regal scale.
It is like Kendall Jenner pretending to cut a cucumber to prove she's just a regular girl making a snack.
Exactly.
You cannot call living in an 18th century 8-bedroom historic estate a normal upbringing just because the butler sleeps in the guest house next door instead of down the hall.
Doesn't change the zip code.
Your child is still waking up in a literal palace. You are not roughing it, babes.
The mechanics of this specific PR leak are highly strategic, though, and deeply cynical.
Oh, breaks down.
Notice the incredibly specific detail that was fed to the press. The fact that they are paying open market rent, a figure assessed by 2 independent third-party valuers.
Right. Why leak the exact dollar amount?
Because it is a targeted PR shield. This information was deployed conveniently to distance William and Kate from the ongoing radioactive drama surrounding Prince Andrew.
Oh, the Royal Lodge drama.
Precisely. Andrew has, allegedly, been skipping rent on Royal Lodge for the better part of 2 decades. He's effectively squatting in a palace.
A royal squatter.
Therefore, by broadcasting the eye-watering sum William and Kate are willingly paying, they are signaling financial independence and fiscal responsibility to the British public.
Wow.
They are masking unimaginable, hoarding-level luxury as a form of civic duty.
So they're using a $500,000 rent check as a relatable flex to prove they aren't like the weird uncle. That is a completely manufactured reality. But William and Kate aren't the only ones struggling with tone-deaf, hypocritical messaging right now. We have to talk about Meghan Markle.
The plot thickens.
Because the backlash she is facing this week is staggering, babes.
This centers around her recent appearance in Geneva, I presume, the Digital Safety Summit.
Exactly. Meghan flew out to give a very impassioned, serious speech at the World Health Organization's Lost Screen Memorial.
A heavy topic.
Very heavy. She was intensely advocating for safer digital spaces for children. Her big soundbite was that kids need to be safe by design, not safe by chance. And she framed dangerous online algorithms as a literal public health crisis.
From a purely rhetorical standpoint, that is an unassailable platform.
Totally.
Protecting children from the unregulated exploitation of social media is a universally supported cause. It is pristine advocacy work on paper.
Totally pristine. Until you look at what she did literally hours before taking the podium.
Oh no, did she post?
Hours before this deeply serious speech about the measurable harms of exposing kids to the internet, she posted a mirror selfie on her personal Instagram account.
Naturally.
To her 4.5 million followers. The photo is her standing in this massive, cavernous walk-in closet, surrounded by a literal fortune in designer clothing, while her 4-year-old daughter, Princess Lilibet, is hugging her legs.
The hypocrisy is structural and immediate.
It's so bad.
The journalist Tom Sykes, who analyzes royal maneuvers, categorized the image as staggeringly tone-deaf and inherently boastful.
He's not wrong.
If we break this down from a crisis PR perspective, it is a catastrophic self-inflicted wound.
Completely self-inflicted.
You simply cannot position yourself as the global vanguard against the digital exploitation of children, while simultaneously voluntarily leveraging the image of your own child for aesthetic content and personal brand promotion on a platform infested with millions of strangers.
You literally can't.
It completely hollows out the core mechanism of her advocacy. You are feeding the exact machine you're claiming to dismantle.
It is the ultimate lack of self-awareness. You are using your kid as an aesthetic prop for engagement while screaming about the dangers of engagement.
It negates the entire speech.
And apparently, this kind of constant contradiction is having severe real-world consequences for her and Harry's social circle.
The circle is shrinking.
It's non-existent. According to the T Online, the A-list elite are actively fleeing the Sussexes. We are talking Oprah, George and Amal Clooney, the Beckhams, Idris Elba.
The exact people who sat in the pews at their royal wedding.
Yes, the heavy hitters.
We must understand that social capital in elite Hollywood circles is a highly transactional currency.
Very transactional.
If the A-listers are retreating en masse, it indicates a critical market correction. The perceived value of associating with brand Sussex has dropped significantly below the reputational cost of that association.
Ouch.
What exactly are the insiders citing as the primary friction point for this exodus?
Okay, brace yourself, because the shade is lethal.
I'm braced.
Insiders are reportedly calling Meghan the
The
cheapest.
cheapest.
Yes. The claim is that she and Harry feel completely entitled to their extremely wealthy friend's resources. We are talking demanding the use of private planes, expecting to stay in luxury vacation homes, simply for the quote-unquote privilege of hanging out with them.
That is a brutal, highly damaging characterization.
It's so embarrassing.
Within those elite, billionaire-adjacent circles, there is an unspoken, rigid etiquette regarding wealth and the sharing of resources. It operates on a ledger of mutual benefit.
Right, you scratch my back, I fly you to Lake Como.
Precisely. If you are constantly withdrawing from the social bank, taking the jet, using the villa, without making equivalent deposits of influence or access, even billionaires will eventually resent you.
Yeah.
You become a liability rather than an asset.
I have to push back a little here, though, babes. Let's be real. Are these A-listers just being incredibly snobby?
It's possible.
Like, are they closing ranks because the Sussexes don't have the institutional backing of the actual monarchy anymore, so they aren't useful to the Clooneys? Or did Meghan actually just forget that at some point you have to whip out your own credit card and pay for your own Uber Black?
The reality is likely a potent synthesis of both factors. When you sever ties with the institutional machinery of the British monarchy, you lose the formidable soft power that compels people to offer you their private jets unconditionally.
Right. They aren't royals on duty anymore.
Long-term alignment with the Sussexes now poses tangible reputational risks. The Clooneys, for example, allegedly recognize that siding with the actual working royals is politically and socially safer for their global philanthropic brand.
That makes total sense. Follow the power.
And there is a fascinating historical footnote regarding Meghan's alleged refusal to understand these hierarchical systems.
Oh, tell me.
A new Channel 5 documentary recently revealed that Duchess Sophie of Edinburgh, who is widely considered the most reliable, scandal-free member of the family, actually attempted to be a mentor to Meghan when she first arrived in the UK.
Wait, just like Sophie was the assigned mentor to Kate Middleton when she joined the family?
Precisely. The institution recognized the transition as brutal, so Sophie approached Meghan, allegedly explicitly offering her guidance, her playbook for surviving the British press, and her support.
That is actually really nice.
But Meghan allegedly snubbed her entirely. She refused the advice and reportedly never even extended an invitation to Sophie to visit Frogmore Cottage.
Are you kidding me?
It demonstrates a consistent pattern of rejecting established systems and advice. That rebel posture works if you can successfully construct a lucrative alternative structure. But it becomes a massive, isolating liability when your independent ventures begin to stall.
It is the ultimate I know better than everyone else complex, and it is burning every single bridge on both sides of the Atlantic.
A bridge-burning masterclass.
Yeah, truly. But babes, let's pivot from organic, messy PR disasters to a masterclass in deeply manufactured narrative control.
A smooth pivot.
Because David Beckham is currently doing some very interesting, very suspicious gardening.
Gardening. That feels like a remarkably abrupt, almost jarring pivot for a global sports and fashion syndicate like the Beckhams.
Right. It makes no sense. So David Beckham has suddenly joined forces with the King's Foundation to co-design a massive showpiece at the RHS Chelsea Flower Show.
Of course he has.
It is called The Curious Garden, and David is out here on Instagram dressed in perfectly tailored rustic workwear, claiming this is just a pure labor of love.
Rustic workwear. I'm sure it's bespoke.
Oh, absolutely. He says he wants to inspire people to get outside into nature while casually showing off the immaculate grounds of his 12 million Cotswolds estate in the background.
Let me immediately put on my crisis management detective hat.
Like you don't.
This is not about a sudden passion for rhododendrons. This is a highly calculated exercise in narrative dominance.
Tell me everything.
PR expert Maya Riaz explicitly categorized this move as PR gold. Why? Because it serves as a massive, wholesome, visually stunning distraction from the incredibly messy, ongoing, highly public feud David and Victoria are currently having with their eldest son, Brooklyn, and his wife, Nicola Peltz Beckham.
Yes. It is the farm boy aesthetic deployed as literal crisis management.
It's very transparent.
It is exactly like when an influencer gets canceled on TikTok for doing something horrendous, and their very next upload is a highly produced, heavily filtered, sponsored skincare routine video where they act like absolutely nothing happened.
The pivot to skincare.
Look at my glowing skin, babes. Completely ignore the federal lawsuit. David is saying, look at my pristine, hand-pruned hedges. Ignore my deeply fractured family dynamic.
It fundamentally softens the brand's sharp edges. During periods of intense negative family scrutiny, retreating into rural agrarian imagery offers a powerful visual language of stability, calm, and grounded normality.
It's giving peace and quiet.
It strips away the untouchable jet-setting global superstar veneer and replaces it with the highly relatable, aspirational, salt-of-the-earth family man.
The ultimate rebrand.
The visuals of him digging in the dirt create a subliminal sense of unity and traditional values. It is a highly effective, almost manipulative way to protect the commercial viability of the Beckham name.
It is brilliant, honestly. You literally cannot be mad at a ridiculously handsome man planting a petunia. It short-circuits the brain.
It's weapons-grade handsomeness deployed tactically.
But babes, speaking of fractured families and shifting loyalties, we have to officially open up our celebrity spill segment.
I'm ready.
The tea we have today is scalding because
Yeah.
the splits, feuds, and fights happening right now in Hollywood are legendary. And we are starting with what I am officially crowning the first wives club of Hollywood.
You were referring to the geopolitical alliance currently forming between Nicole Kidman and Deborah Lee Furness.
Yes. The tea is that Nicole Kidman is firmly, aggressively choosing sides in Hugh Jackman's divorce.
Picking a team?
She is completely backing her friend of 40 years, Deborah Lee. And this drama didn't just stay in the group chat, babes. It played out very publicly at the Met Gala.
The most public venue possible.
Nicole reportedly, intentionally, strategically, and visibly avoided Hugh and his new rumored partner, Sutton Foster, on the red carpet. She treated them like they were invisible.
What is truly fascinating here is the shared, visceral history between these women.
Right, because of Tom Cruise.
Exactly. Nicole Kidman is intimately, painfully familiar with the unique trauma of a highly public, globally scrutinized divorce, having survived her own very intense, paradigm-shifting split from Tom Cruise.
And surviving the Scientology PR machine.
Yes. Now, she is essentially acting as the CEO of Deborah Lee's divorce recovery protocol.
I am obsessed with the petty loyalty of it all. Babes, it is so absolutely essential to have that one ride or die bestie who will actively, purposefully, and happily ignore your ex at a party.
It is a required service in a friendship.
It is in the contract. Nicole is allegedly doing everything in her power to get Deb back in charge of her life, aggressively encouraging her to step back into the dating world, even though sources say Deb is nervous about taking that leap after decades of marriage.
It highlights a crucial dynamic. In the Hollywood ecosystem, enduring alliances are almost always forged through shared adversity.
Trauma bonding, basically.
Yes. Nicole triumphantly took control of her own post-divorce narrative, arguably elevating her career to unprecedented heights, and she is now trying to impart that exact strategic playbook to Furness.
I love to see it.
It is women actively protecting and rehabilitating women in an industry that historically discards them the moment their relationship status changes.
Absolutely. We love a supportive petty queen. Now, moving from spouses taking sides to children taking sides, babes, we need to talk about Brad Pitt.
The estranged man narrative.
Because the silence radiating from his children is becoming absolutely deafening.
It seems to have reached a highly public, irreversible tipping point.
It really has. So Brad's daughter, Zahara, just graduated from Spelman College over the weekend. A massive, beautiful milestone.
Congratulations to her.
Yes. Angelina Jolie was there. Zahara's siblings were there cheering. Her grandmother was there. Brad Pitt? Absolutely nowhere to be found.
Predictably absent.
And the tea online is that he didn't even reach out ahead of the graduation, nor did he even ask for a ticket to attend.
The specific phrasing leaked by sources close to Angelina's camp is devastatingly precise.
What did they say?
They stated, "Nothing prevented him from showing up for her. The day was about all she accomplished, not whether he was willing to attend."
Oof.
That is a carefully weaponized statement. It is designed to place the entirety of the blame for his absence squarely on his own shoulders, preemptively destroying any potential PR spin from Brad's team that he was legally barred from attending, or politely asked to stay away to avoid a media circus.
But the escalation here isn't just about a missed college graduation. That's just a symptom. The real tea is the absolute devastation of literally all his kids actively, legally dropping his last name.
A systematic erasure.
Yes. Zahara proudly introduced herself as Zahara Marley Jolie at her college sorority induction. Shiloh just legally filed a petition in court on her 18th birthday to drop Pitt from her name entirely.
On her 18th birthday, that is pointed.
So pointed. And Vivienne listed herself as just Vivienne Jolie in the playbill for the Broadway musical The Outsiders, which she worked on.
When an entire sibling cohort unites to publicly sever a nominal tie, It speaks to a profound, deeply rooted, shared grievance.
Exactly. It's not just one rebellious teen.
A surname is the primary marker of identity, lineage, and ownership. For these children who are navigating their formative years under the relentless glare of the global media, to systematically, legally reject the Pitt surname is a total rejection of the brand, the legacy, and the man himself.
It's a complete repudiation.
It completely shatters the carefully maintained, millions of dollars PR facade that Pitt's team has built, portraying him as the flawed, misunderstood, but fundamentally decent father figure.
It is the loudest silence possible when literally all your children collectively look at your name and say, keep it, we're good without it. That tells you absolutely everything you need to know about what was happening behind those closed doors.
The silence is indeed deafening.
It is chilling. Okay, let's shift gears to a potential romance that I genuinely, deeply did not see coming on my 2026 bingo card.
The bingo card is in shambles.
Pamela Anderson and Tom Cruise.
That is a demographic collision that breaks several laws of physics.
Right, I am spiraling. So Pamela Anderson is 58 years old, and she is currently having a massive, critically acclaimed, serious Hollywood comeback with her new movie, The Last Showgirl.
Which is a remarkable career pivot.
She is glowing, and suddenly the tabloids are dropping claims that Tom Cruise is circling her. They allege there was a spark and that Tom saw her in a very different light after seeing her incredible performance in the film.
We must analyze the context of their recent romantic trajectories to understand why this rumor exists.
Please explain it to me.
Pamela recently had a brief, unexpected connection with Liam Neeson after filming the Naked Gun reboot.
Which was also weird.
Tom Cruise, conversely, was most recently linked to the significantly younger Ana de Armas, a relationship that reportedly imploded because the intensity of his lifestyle and the Scientology apparatus moved entirely too quickly for her comfort.
I am literally glitching over the visual of Tom Cruise and Pamela Anderson standing on a red carpet together. It feels like an AI-generated image. It is so chaotic.
From a purely strategic PR viewpoint, an alliance between them would be mutually exponentially beneficial.
How so?
Pamela is in the delicate process of shifting her narrative from a heavily mocked 90s sex symbol to a serious, respected prestige actress. Being publicly courted by arguably the last remaining traditional movie star in the world validates that transition.
Okay, that makes sense.
It stamps her with A-list approval. For Tom, the calculus is equally clear. Dating an age-appropriate, universally beloved, slightly chaotic icon like Pamela softens his intense, rigid, and often deeply alienating persona.
It proves he can date a normal-ish woman his own age.
It humanizes him. Whether this spark is a genuine romantic connection or is simply a brilliant, mutually agreed-upon PR arrangement engineered by their publicists, it is a fascinating, nostalgic narrative shift.
It is pure 90s nostalgia, but completely fresh at the exact same time. I am honestly rooting for the mess of it all.
It will certainly generate headlines.
Okay, moving from 90s icons to a significantly younger, way more chaotic couple. Pete Davidson and Elsie Hewitt.
Ah, Pete Davidson.
Babes, they just split up less than a year after welcoming their 5-month-old daughter, Scotty Rose.
And as is the custom for that generation, the emotional fallout is being broadcast in real time across social media platforms.
Of course it is. Elsie immediately took to Instagram and TikTok, basically begging her followers to help her find a right-hand person, like an assistant or a nanny.
Oh, TikTok.
Yes. She posted this highly emotional video, crying to the camera about how she has a tiny baby to take care of, she has to work to make money to survive, and she's doing it all completely on her own, which is just so impossibly hard.
The performance of it all.
Naturally, the internet immediately assembled a mob to attack Pete, assuming he had just abandoned his child and left her destitute.
But the reality check deployed by sources close to Pete's camp paints a drastically different, highly documented picture.
They came with receipts.
His insiders pushed back immediately and forcefully, stating that Pete is fully, comprehensively, financially supporting both of them. He is covering all expenses related to the child, paying the rent, and has made himself extremely available for co-parenting.
Wait, there's more.
Furthermore, they reveal that the two of them are reportedly using an elite, professional vetting process together to find a highly qualified nanny.
Babes, this is exactly what drives me absolutely crazy.
It's exasperating.
The sheer audacity to get on TikTok, cry to your millions of followers, complain about being a struggling single mom, and intentionally cultivate this narrative of total abandonment.
While living in a fully paid-for apartment.
Exactly. When your famous comedian ex is literally footing the bill for a professional, top-tier nanny search behind the scenes, It is aggressively performing poverty and struggle purely for engagement metrics.
It is the cynical commodification of vulnerability.
Say that again?
On algorithmic platforms like TikTok, expressing overwhelm, tears, and framing oneself as a victim garners immediate, immense sympathy. That sympathy translates to high engagement, which triggers algorithmic success, which ultimately translates to monetization and brand deals.
So it's a cash grab.
However, when the tearful narrative directly, factually contradicts verifiable financial realities, it crosses the line from venting into a dangerous game of public manipulation.
It's basically defamation.
It forces the other party, in this case Pete Davidson's crisis team, to leak private financial arrangements just to correct the defamatory record.
It is so incredibly messy. But babes, you know what else is messy? I have to forcefully, loudly interrupt our entire scheduled rundown for a second to shout out the absolute chaos trending on reality T today.
Consider me interrupted.
We have to talk about the Real Housewives of Rhode Island. Episode 8 just dropped.
I am bracing my central nervous system. What exactly occurred in Rhode Island to warrant this interruption?
Rosie and Kelsey just had what is universally being called the most explosive, unhinged fight in the entire history of the franchise.
That's a high bar.
Drinks were thrown, accusations were hurled, and it culminated in Kelsey delivering the most iconic, completely deranged reality TV insult of the year.
Lay it on me.
She looked Rosie dead in the eye and yelled, "That'll do, Slam Pig."
Slam pig.
Yes, Slam Pig.
I am repulsed.
Both of us literally lost our minds reading the recaps this morning. We have immediately decided that phrase needs to be screen printed onto a t-shirt for our summer wardrobe.
And you wear it ironically.
It is just so aggressively specific, so weird, and so deeply offensive.
The linguistics of modern reality television are truly a grim sociological study.
The dark study.
Insults on these franchises are no longer about expressing anger. They are focus grouped and designed for maximum shock value and immediate memeability on Twitter.
It's all about the soundbite.
They have to cut through the relentless noise of constant overlapping arguments. Slam Pig is absurd, it is viscerally unpleasant, and it is linguistically jarring.
It is poetry.
Which is precisely why it successfully hijacked the global trending topics. The women on these shows understand that going viral is the sole currency of the reality TV economy.
Right.
Kelsey secured her contract for next season with those two words.
It really is an economy, and she is the CEO. I will be calling every minor inconvenience a slam pig all summer long.
Please don't.
Oh, I will. All right, moving from the manufactured drama of reality TV sets to the allegedly real drama of premium cable sets. The mess is definitely not confined to the housewives. We need to unpack the absolute backstage disaster currently haunting the set of HBO's Euphoria.
You're referring to the relentless rumors regarding the deteriorating relationship between Zendaya and Sydney Sweeney.
Exactly. The rumor mill has been absolutely churning for weeks, claiming that Zendaya and Sydney are locked in a bitter relationship-ending feud.
Classic tabloid fighter.
Fans on Reddit were dissecting missing cast photos, analyzing body language and old interviews, and anonymous insiders were running to Dumois, claiming the cast would be deeply relieved when the show finally ends because the set is so toxic.
The internet loves a conspiracy.
But now their co-star, Jessica Blair Herman, went on Good Day New York to completely, thoroughly debunk the entire thing.
What was her technical explanation for the perceived icy distance between the two female leads?
She said it's purely, boringly logistical. There is no massive drama. They literally just don't share any scenes together.
Oh, the her.
Their character storylines are completely separate this season, so they shoot on entirely different days. Plus, they are both insanely busy carrying the entire Hollywood industry on their backs.
They are quite booked.
Zendaya is off shooting Dune 3 and negotiating the next Spider-Man, while Sydney is juggling filming The Housemaid and launching her new Scorn lingerie line. They are just ships passing in the night.
This is a classic, deeply ingrained example of the media abhorring a vacuum. When two incredibly successful, highly visible women exist in the same professional space, society and the tabloid media almost pathologically default to a narrative of competition, jealousy, and catfighting.
Always.
If they aren't photographed, holding hands and braiding each other's hair, the immediate assumption is that they must despise each other. The actual reality that they are simply exhausted, overworked professionals executing highly complex, separate tasks on a massive call sheet is entirely too mundane for the rumor mill to process. So they invent a war.
It is so true. We always desperately want women to be fighting. It is so toxic. But babes, the real controversy surrounding Sydney Sweeney right now isn't a fake feud with Zendaya, it's her actual boyfriend and the deeply problematic storyline they gave her character.
Let us unpack the boyfriend aspect first, as it reeks of PR panic.
Right. So Sydney's current boyfriend is 44-year-old music mogul Scooter Braun.
The age gap is noted.
And apparently the internet chatter about Sydney's on-screen behavior got so loud that Scooter felt compelled to have his sources publicly state to Page Six that he isn't threatened by Sydney's heavily provocative scenes as her character, Cassie Howard.
He had to release a statement.
Yes, the insider explicitly said he fully understands that it's part of her job and deeply respects her artistic dedication.
It is remarkably telling and frankly pathetic that a 44-year-old billionaire media executive feels the desperate need to publicly, preemptively declare through back channels that he is not intimidated by his 20-something girlfriend acting in a fictional television show.
It's so weird.
It suggests a profound internal insecurity. Or at the very least, it reveals a highly defensive PR strategy, likely anticipating massive public criticism of their significant age gap and the explicit nature of her on-screen work.
Yeah.
He is trying to preemptively frame himself as the progressive, supportive patriarch.
It feels very, look at me, I'm a cool, secure boyfriend, please don't cancel me. It gives me the ick.
A severe case of the ick.
But the actual, valid, burning outrage surrounding Sydney's character Cassie right now is coming directly from real-life OnlyFans creators.
This is regarding the show's highly dramatized depiction of the platform's mechanics.
Yes. In Season 3, Cassie fully enters the world of online adult content creation, and the show has her doing these extreme scenes, dressing up as a literal baby in a diaper for her paying subscribers.
Which is wildly inaccurate.
Real OnlyFans creators, including prominent voices like Sydney Leathers and Maitland Ward Baxter, are absolutely furious at the writers. They are pointing out that real payment processors, credit card companies, and the platform itself have incredibly strict, rigid terms of service.
Very strict.
Age play content like dressing as a baby or acting like a minor is a hard violation that would instantly get a creator permanently banned, their account deleted, and all their funds frozen immediately.
This touches on a profound systemic hypocrisy within elite Hollywood circles. Mainstream, prestige entertainment frequently exploits the dark aesthetics and shock value of sex work. They win Emmys and Golden Globes for being edgy, raw, and boundary-pushing.
While looking down on actual creators.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yet the writers and showrunners completely ignore the actual material realities, the rigid legal restrictions, and the terrifying financial precarity that real sex workers navigate daily. By depicting wildly inaccurate rule-breaking scenarios just for shock value, the show inadvertently weaponizes and perpetuates harmful stereotypes.
It's just reckless.
As Maitland Ward Baxter astutely noted, it suggests to the general public that creators have absolutely no moral compass and operate in a lawless void where they will do anything for money, when in reality they operate within strict, highly regulated digital environments dictated by conservative banking institutions.
It is Hollywood happily profiting off a marginalized industry while refusing to do even 5 minutes of basic Google research to represent it accurately. It is so incredibly frustrating and lazy.
It's a failure of writing.
And babes, speaking of Hollywood's massive systemic failures, we have to look at what Cate Blanchett just said out loud at the Cannes Film Festival.
She made some very pointed, highly controversial comments about the legacy of the #MeToo movement, didn't she?
She did, and she did not hold back. The Oscar winner sat down for a moderated talk and bluntly, clearly called out how fast the #MeToo movement quote-unquote got killed.
She said it got killed.
Yes. She pointed out that while the movement initially exposed a horrific, systemic layer of abuse, the broader conversation eventually just fizzled out, and the industry went back to business as usual.
She specifically referenced the persistent, unyielding gender imbalance on film sets, noting her daily habit of counting the ratio.
Yes. She said she literally counts the crew members every single morning she walks onto a set. And every morning the ratio is exactly the same, 10 women to 75 men.
A glaring statistic.
And I love how incredibly blunt she was about the culture. She made sure to clarify she doesn't hate men, saying, "I love men, but the jokes become the exact same."
If you don't identify a problem, you can't solve the problem. That is the absolute crux of her argument.
Break it down for us.
What Blanchett is highlighting is the institutional memory of Hollywood, or rather, its intentional, weaponized amnesia. The industry enthusiastically adopted a hashtag, fired a few highly visible, undeniable bad actors like Harvey Weinstein, gave themselves standing ovations at award shows, and essentially declared institutional sexism solved.
They patted themselves on the back.
But the actual infrastructure, the 75-to-10 ratio of who controls the cameras, the lighting, the budget, and the daily culture, remains fundamentally, stubbornly unchanged. The illusion of a solved problem is often infinitely more dangerous than the problem itself because it completely neutralizes the urgency for actual systemic reform.
Exactly. They put a tiny aesthetic Band-Aid on a massive bleeding bullet wound and shouted, "Look, everyone, we fixed it. Stop complaining." It is the Hollywood facade all over again.
A facade indeed.
Okay, babes, let's lighten the mood slightly and look at a paparazzi shot that is trying very, very hard to be something it is absolutely not. Kendall Jenner and Jacob Elordi.
Ah, a highly orchestrated, secret Hawaiian date, I presume.
So secret that TMZ somehow miraculously managed to get crystal clear, high-definition photos of them lounging together on a completely deserted beach.
What a shocking coincidence.
Kendall is in a tiny blue bikini, Jacob is shirtless in matching blue shorts, and immediately the internet's favorite pseudoscientists, body language experts, are weighing in.
Oh, I love pseudoscience.
Inbal Honigman analyzed the photos and claims Kendall was visibly holding back and protecting herself emotionally. She pointed out that Kendall kept her dark sunglasses on the entire time and held her arm rigidly close to her body, creating a physical barrier.
Body language analysis in the realm of celebrity journalism is a fascinating, entirely fictitious pseudoscience.
It's basically astrology.
It attempts to apply clinical observation to environments that are highly manufactured and fully aware of the camera's presence.
It totally is. But the part I find absolutely hilarious is the PR narrative being pushed, that Jacob Elordi is trying to keep this romance quiet and low-key because he allegedly hates reality TV and desperately wants to protect his reputation as a serious, brooding, indie art house actor.
The tortured artist routine.
Yes. Meanwhile, Kendall's sister Kylie is literally double dating with Timothée Chalamet at the Golden Globes.
The friction between their respective brand identities here is palpable and highly amusing.
It's a clash of worlds.
Jacob Elordi has worked tirelessly, often publicly insulting his own past work, to distance himself from his teen rom-com origins in the kissing booth. He is cultivating a tortured, auteur-adjacent persona.
Very serious.
Kendall Jenner, conversely, is literal royalty in the most documented, commercially integrated, aggressively public reality television family in human history.
Babes, it is exactly like ordering a Diet Coke with a triple bacon cheeseburger. You cannot date a Kardashian Jenner and then pretend you are somehow above the media circus.
They are the circus.
The paparazzi are literally part of the dowry. You marry into the Hulu contract.
Precisely. You cannot voluntarily integrate yourself into the royal family of reality television and then indignantly demand privacy. The relationship itself instantly becomes monetized content, entirely regardless of his artistic pretensions. He is a character on her show now, whether the cameras are rolling or not.
So true. And speaking of intense, painful experiences, I have to ask you a question based on our next story.
I am intrigued.
Hilary Duff was just on Kylie Kel's podcast, and she made a definitive statement comparing two extreme, wildly different experiences.
Okay.
She has had 3 unmedicated home births, which her husband, Matthew Coma, literally sets up in an inflatable hot tub in the middle of their house.
That sounds harrowing.
She has also been a guest on the YouTube show Hot Ones, where she was forced to eat the notoriously painful, stomach-destroying day bomb hot sauce.
Those are two vastly different vectors of severe human suffering.
Right. And Kylie Kelsey asked her the ultimate question, which one was actually harder? Hilary said with absolutely zero hesitation that the home births were much harder.
I would assume so.
She explained that once you hit level 8 on Hot Ones and eat Dive Bomb, you are definitely not okay. Every single gasp of air burns your throat and your stomach is in knots. But she said the hours and hours of unmedicated labor in a plastic tub still easily trumped it.
Naturally.
So my question to you right now, if somebody forced you to choose, which are you taking? The inflatable hot tub birth or Dive Bomb hot sauce?
Without even a fraction of a second of hesitation, I am choosing Dive Bomb.
Really? You hate spicy food.
I will gladly suffer the acute capsaicin-induced gastrointestinal distress. I would complain bitterly, loudly, and continuously the entire time, but I am absolutely, unequivocally deferring to modern epidural medicine for the alternative. The concept of an unmedicated hot tub birth is terrifying to my core.
I am dramatically, viscerally horrified by both options, honestly, but I think I have to agree with you. Give me the hot wings, a gallon of whole milk, and a quiet room to cry in.
Sensible choice.
All right, babes, let's dive into our final section today, which is a completely wild, chaotic ride through actual scams, lawsuits, delusional politicians, and catwalks.
A diverse portfolio of chaos.
Starting with an actual, literal, true crime plot twist involving British reality star Katie Price.
Katie Price, also historically known as Jordan, has a deeply established history of chaotic, highly publicized relationships. What specific disaster has occurred now?
Okay, so she recently went public, claiming that her fourth husband, a man named Lee Andrews, who, by the way, she married in Dubai literally days after meeting him.
A classic red flag.
Huge red flag. She claimed he had been violently kidnapped in a van. She gave interviews saying she got this eerie, terrifying FaceTime call at exactly 10:03 p.m.
Very specific timing.
He had a hood over his head, there were visible zip ties on his wrists, and he was whispering into the camera that they're coming back for me.
That sounds suspiciously exactly like a script from a low-budget, straight-to-streaming action film.
Because it basically is. The Sun newspaper sent a reporter, Clemmy Moody, to investigate this kidnapping, and she completely, utterly exposed him.
She cracked the case.
Lee is not kidnapped. He is reportedly an international mastermind criminal and a prolific con artist.
The dramatic facade crumbles spectacularly.
Utterly. He is allegedly squatting in a rundown, abandoned village in Dubai using a cheap burner phone to stage these calls.
The glamour of it all.
The $36 million mansion he bragged to Katie that he bought in cash. It's a cheap, short-term rental that he doesn't even own. He even managed to scam the reporter herself out of £1,000 during the investigation.
He scammed the reporter. That takes gall.
And now, both Interpol and the Hertfordshire police are actively hunting him down across borders.
The psychological vulnerability of public figures is on full tragic display here.
It really is.
Katie Price has lived her entire adult life within the hyper-real distortion of the tabloids. Her baseline reality is inherently skewed by constant media attention and manufactured drama. That environment makes her uniquely, tragically susceptible to individuals who construct elaborate, fictionalized realities of their own.
She is the perfect target.
A man who casually claims to own a $36 million cash-bought mansion appeals directly to the grandeur and chaos of her world. The fact that she was entirely finessed by a squatter using plastic prop zip ties for a fake Hollywood kidnapping FaceTime call is a profound testament to how easily the illusion of wealth and danger can be manipulated.
I am breathless just thinking about it. A squatter with prop zip ties from Home Depot. It is incredible.
It is objectively hilarious.
But babes, the delusions aren't just limited to romance scams. Let's look at local politics because the delusion is spreading.
Yeah.
Spencer Pratt is currently running for mayor of Los Angeles.
The former villain of MTV's The Hills is running for the executive office of a major metropolitan city. That fact alone is a grim symptom of our current political era.
It gets so much better. His entire campaign aesthetic is built on the premise that he is an everyman suffering alongside the people.
The crystal healer is an everyman.
Sure. He put out campaign ads claiming he is currently living in a humble Airstream trailer to truly understand the plight of the common citizen.
I don't believe that for a second.
You shouldn't. TMZ tracked him down. He and his wife, Heidi Montag, were spotted eating a highly casual, expensive breakfast up in Carpinteria, California, which literally brands itself the world's safest beach.
So, to clarify, the champion of the people is not currently residing in the Airstream.
Not even close. He is actually staying at the unbelievably ritzy, exclusive Hotel Bel Air.
Naturally.
And his excuse when TMZ confronted him with the photos, he claimed he had to abandon the Airstream and move to the luxury hotel because of alleged death threats, and he desperately needed their elite armed security.
The death threats defense.
And now he's throwing a tantrum, threatening to leave LA completely and move to Carpinteria permanently if the city doesn't vote for him in the mayoral election.
It is pure, unfiltered, cynical political theater.
It's embarrassing.
The invocation of death threats is a classic desperate PR maneuver to rapidly pivot from being exposed as a fraud to being framed as a sympathetic victim. The reality television skills he honed for years on MTV, creating artificial conflict, manipulating narratives, playing the victim while acting as the villain, are simply being copy-pasted onto a municipal election.
He hasn't changed at all.
It demonstrates perfectly how the line between entertainment, reality TV, and governance has been entirely, permanently erased.
It is just so funny to me. Vote for me, the humble man in the Airstream. Actually, never mind. I'm at the Bel Air ordering room service, and if you don't make me mayor, I'm taking my crystals and leaving. It is literally a toddler's threat.
He's a slam pig, if I may borrow your new phrase.
Oh my God, you used it. Yes, he's a slam pig. Moving from political theater to highly expensive legal theater, we have Paris Jackson stepping back into the courtroom to fight for her money.
This is regarding the ongoing saga of the Michael Jackson estate, correct?
Yeah.
Probate law at that level of wealth can be incredibly intricate and notoriously corrupt.
It is, and she is playing absolute hardball. So Paris Jackson recently won a massive precedent-setting case forcing the executors of her father's estate, John Branca and John McClane, to return $625,000 directly back to the estate.
A significant sum.
The executors had secretly paid that money as bonuses to outside law firms that they work with, and the judge ruled that was entirely improper and the funds had to be returned.
A highly significant victory. Forcing executors to return misappropriated funds to the estate corpus is incredibly difficult. It is a major win for a beneficiary.
But babes, she's not done. She is dragging them right back to court, and this time she's demanding an extra $463,752.
For what?
Because that is the exact calculation of the accrued interest on the $625,000 during the time it was improperly held by the law firms.
I must pause to applaud the sheer, meticulous financial precision of that maneuver.
Right. It is premium-level billionaire pettiness, but it is also just incredible business.
It is sound financial management.
Her legal team is arguing that when funds are misappropriated from a trust, the law is crystal clear. They have to be paid back with the interest they would have earned. Why should John Branca get special treatment just because he's famous?
It shouldn't.
Meanwhile, the executors are desperately trying to distract the media by putting out glossy PR statements praising the upcoming Michael biopic and talking about how incredibly profitable the estate's business is doing under their leadership.
It is a classic transparent misdirection tactic.
Look over here.
Don't look at the $500,000 in interest we legally owe due to our own administrative corruption. Look at this shiny new movie we are producing for you.
Exactly.
But Paris Jackson's aggressive legal strategy highlights a crucial, often overlooked aspect of generational wealth management. The beneficiaries must act as ruthless, aggressive auditors of their own money. Because if they don't, the executors' administrative fees, hidden bonuses, and legal retainers will slowly, legally erode the principal until there is nothing left.
They will bleed it dry.
Demanding the exact interest is a power move that establishes a zero-tolerance policy for financial negligence. She is letting them know she checks the receipts.
Absolutely. She is not playing around with her inheritance. Okay, let's pivot to some daytime TV drama, which honestly feels like its own form of political theater these days.
That's true.
And as always, babes, we are strictly just reporting the facts of the broadcast here. No political endorsements from us either way. We just love the mess of live television.
Understood. Daytime television has evolved significantly from polite cooking segments to aggressive, high-stakes ideological battlegrounds. What exactly transpired on The View?
So Anna Navarro and Sunny Hostin went completely passionately off on the Republican Party in a recent fiery segment.
Oh, they do love a fiery segment.
Anna specifically targeted Senator Lindsey Graham, arguing that Republicans are essentially terrified of disagreeing with Donald Trump. To back up her point, she cited the history of Bill Cassidy, pointing out that he lost his Louisiana Senate race immediately after he voted to convict Trump during the 2021 impeachment trial.
The core argument being presented on the panel is one of political self-preservation, actively dictating party loyalty.
Exactly. And then Sunny Hostin took it a step further, officially coining the term Trump-a-lickin' party live on air.
Trump-a-lickin'.
Catchy. She claimed the GOP is no longer the party of America First policies or kitchen table issues, but rather a strict ultimatum of Trump's way or the highway.
And did the conservative co-hosts push back?
Well, Alyssa Farah Griffin actually chimed in and agreed, pointing out that even former massive advocates for Trump, like Marjorie Taylor Greene and Thomas Massie, face massive public backlash or threats of difficult primaries the exact second they disagree with him on absolutely anything, like how they handle the Epstein files.
If you objectively analyze the structure of that specific segment, it is remarkable how daytime talk shows have fully adopted the dramatic mechanics of professional wrestling.
Wait, wrestling?
Yes, you have distinct, recognizable characters, high-stakes ideological conflicts, coined catchphrases designed for Twitter like Trump-Polican, and a live studio audience actively responding to the rhetorical body blows.
The audience is definitely a part of the cast.
It perfectly reflects a modern media landscape where complex political discourse is optimized entirely for viral sound bites
Yeah.
and emotional resonance, rather than nuanced policy debate.
Yeah.
It is entertainment masquerading as civic duty.
It literally is the most aggressive wrestling match on television at 11 a.m.
Get the popcorn.
All right, babes, we are going to end our spill segment today on a visual that is, quite frankly, jarring to my soul. Tom Brady walked a runway.
The recently retired 7-time Super Bowl champion quarterback. For which fashion house?
For the Gucci Cruise 2027 collection, in the middle of Times Square,
Times Square.
Tom Brady made his official catwalk debut wearing a head-to-toe, all-black leather outfit.
Black leather on a runway
Yeah.
in the humidity of Times Square.
Yes, and the internet absolutely mercilessly roasted him. The fan comments were brutal.
I can only imagine.
People were calling him the Rubber Man from American Horror Story, joking that he's wearing Matrix leather. One person literally commented, and I quote, "All those years married to Giselle, and he never learned how to walk."
That is a critical, devastating strike from the internet.
It is a kill shot, and the audience watching him was pure chaos. Alex Earl, who had those weird romance rumors with him last year, was sitting right in the front row, directly next to Kim Kardashian and Lindsay Lohan. I have officially decided that Tom Brady is deeply in his I crave attention post-retirement era.
The psychology of the retired elite athlete is incredibly complex and often tragic.
He needs a hobby.
When your entire identity, your daily dopamine regulation, and your global public validation have been rigidly tied to a highly structured, hyper-competitive environment for 3 decades, the sudden cessation of that activity creates a massive, terrifying psychological void.
So you wear leather in Times Square.
Walking a Gucci runway in head-to-toe leather is a desperate attempt to find a new arena, a new source of external validation. However, as the internet swiftly and truly pointed out, the specialized skills required to read an NFL defense do not seamlessly translate to modeling high fashion. The facade of the untouchable athlete once again falters entirely under the scrutiny of a new environment.
I am taking a massive deep breath right now because I am completely exhausted from the sheer volume of Hollywood mess, public delusion, and scam artistry we just waded through.
My cortisol levels are spiked.
Thank you so much to the Snark Squad for hanging out with us, riding in the passenger seat as we unpacked all of this absolute chaos.
It has been a comprehensive, exhausting survey of modern PR architecture and human delusion. And we will, of course, keep everyone fully updated on whether the apartment with the highly suspicious luxury vinyl flooring actually turns out to be the one, or if it is just another painted facade.
Please, babes, manifest good apartment energy for me. I need it.
She really does.
And before you close out the app, we want you to sound off in the comments for us. We need to know your thoughts. Answer these 4 things. What is your absolute favorite McDonald's drink right now? What is your deeply delusional money is no object dream apartment feature?
I want to read those.
What is the nicest compliment you've received recently? And finally, what specific energy are you manifesting this summer?
The sociological data from those answers should be highly entertaining and deeply revealing.
Don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe, babes.
Because, as we've learned today, whether it's a Hollywood backlot, a $400,000 royal lease, a desperate PR garden, or a squatter in Dubai with plastic zip ties, the reality you are being sold is almost always a carefully constructed, highly fragile facade. The question you always have to ask is, who is profiting from the illusion?
Stay messy, stay expensive looking, and we will see you on the Snark side.